Good evening and welcome to Collector Cars. I'm Lance, your host. With me in the studio tonight, special guest. He's been with us once a year for a special event. No, not Santa. Mr. Arnie Burns. How you doing, man?
How are you?
And Mr. Bill Mergens.
Yes, sir.
Bill.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Good to see you.
Arnie, you've been coming on every year for the past few years now.
About 5 years.
About 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And naturally, this is because of, and zoom in over here if you would, this is, without a doubt, the largest car cruise, antique collector car cruise on the west coast of Florida. And it is this one is actually the 40th annual Devereaux Kaiser show. I get, Arnie, I get more calls, people calling to ask where your show is than at this time of year than I do asking where my shows are.
It's a beloved show.
They love it.
People love it.
And you know that the interesting, we always talk about, it's kind of just like a happening.
It is.
You know, I mean, I've not seen that brochure, but everybody knows about it.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, it's amazing.
Well, here's the thing. 40 years into this, you guys have gone through a lot. You've had to a couple times change locations, do a few things. One year we talked about where you actually started and how it evolved. The whole thing really started in Maurice Devereaux's backyard or front yard with Tom Kaiser.
That's right.
And
Maurice,
Maurice, he just passed away last year, and he was 101?
That's right.
Wow.
Yes.
Did he make it here for his 100th birthday?
No.
He made it for 99.
He made it for 99.
Okay. All right. Here's what we're talking about, folks. Billy, get ready to come in on this. This is a car show. Now check that out. Wait till you look at the parking lot.
That's only partial.
Yeah.
From the helicopter last year. We had 1,400 antique cars 25 years old and older, and we had 12,000 spectators. Look at that.
Wild. That is beautiful. I know. I've come to the shows. I've done filming and so forth. This year I'm going to be down at Giovanetti's having a car party down there for the people to deal with him. But Bill's going to be there with his camera. We're going to put together some slideshows, and it's going to be fantastic. And each year, I'll tell you, I love having you guys on. This is, now who are these three ladies?
Three ladies who belong, or the wives of the men who belong to the club.
Okay.
And the ladies actually set up 2 tables where people can sign and can get in, can join the Sunshine region of the AACA and get information about antique cars and things like that.
And this is the kind of stuff, folks, that you're going to see. Stuff you don't see at most of a Cole. Now, what year is that?
That Cole? It's got to be around in 1910, 1912.
You want to
see
sure. Antique cars.
1913.
This is the show. 1913, right on there. Look at that. Very, very neat stuff that you guys have there. Just an incredible amount of antiques. Your club, the Sunshine Region, you guys have a lot of fabulous cars.
The club started in 1975.
Is that when?
Yeah, it was an offshoot. It was an offshoot.
And this show, and here is Arnie with Tom Kaiser.
Tom Kaiser. And Tom Kaiser started the show with Maurice Devereaux. It's actually, tell you a little secret, it's actually 41 years old. Somebody miscounted. I mean, I can only count on my fingers so far.
You mean I'm not the only one that makes mistakes?
Yeah.
Oh, you should see what I did to my last schedule. This weekend, I don't think anybody knows where to go. It was a mess.
Yeah.
And then I read off the bum schedule on the radio program, and but Candy always announces that for you and lets people know that you're there and so forth. Last year you had what, 1,200?
We had over 1,400 antique cars, and we had over 12,000 spectators.
That's cool.
The show is, is always on the last Sunday in January. This year, it's Sunday, January 31st.
We talked about that just before we came on, that people used to say, oh, it's the same day as Super Bowl Sunday. Well, now that they've changed the Super Bowl, you guys stayed the same, but they didn't.
That's right.
And let me ask you this. I mean, by about 2 o'clock, everybody leaves.
Yes.
Is that a product of when the Super Bowl used to be on? Because that's what I always thought it was, is that
probably
the Super Bowl started like at 4 o'clock, so everybody kind of went home,
Right.
and now it's just kind of that's what everybody still does.
Well, it's a product of that, but it's
Right.
also a product of, you know, we have car clubs come from Tampa, from Naples, from St. Pete,
Right.
and they come with 30, 40, or 45 cars at a time.
Right.
Because we have two rules. A car has to be 25 years old or older to be on the show field, and there's no exceptions. And the second rule is there is no reserved spots. If you
Right.
want to park together, you must come together. So
Right.
people pull outside, and then they pull in one after the other.
Right.
So if you're getting 45 cars, and these are old cars like that Cole, it'd take that guy,
Yep.
if he wanted to drive back to St. Pete, it'd probably take him 3 hours.
Right.
Yeah.
So they have to leave early.
Yeah, they're coming from a distance.
Yeah.
They're leaving also, some of these guys are leaving at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning to get there.
Yes.
So by 2 in the afternoon, they're about
And I guess the
finished.
point of that whole thing is don't be late.
Yes.
You know, if you're a spectator and you're listening to the show, don't show up at 2 o'clock. You better be there by noon and get the full
Hey,
benefit of it.
I know what it's like doing a show when you've got 300, 350, 400 cars. We've done those types of shows. And to try to get all those people parked is a magician's act, okay? I mean, you got to be a part magician, and you got to have the patience of a saint, because they're all, you know, anxious to get parked, and, well, I want to go, you know what I mean? So you guys, to get that many cars in and put this on the way you do is fantastic.
I guess you can call me Harry Houdini then, huh?
Harry Houdini, you got that right.
Yeah, I've been producing this show for about 15 years now, and I actually run most of the show, and I put the people of the club, the Sunshine Region, I give them all assignments, and they all carry it out. They all work very hard.
Arnie, how'd you get stuck with it? I mean, how'd you get honored with it for that many years in a row?
I don't know. I don't know. But, you know, it follows itself, and
Yeah.
a couple of years ago we decided to have vendors. We don't have very many vendors, but we have, this year we have about 10 vendors,
That's cool.
and including the Sunset Chevrolet. We never used to allow any cars, new cars, and we're still not, except we're allowing them to have one new Camaro.
Yes.
Oh,
Camaro
you
guy.
just
You're
made
Camaro
Mergen's
guy.
whole night.
All right,
You
well-
just made his
what can I
whole
say?
night.
Well, they're allowed to have one new Camaro, and then everything else has to be old.
Very
Uh,
cool.
Other than that, they're going to have their own separate.
If it's yellow, I'll
tent.
park next to it.
I tell you.
It might be.
I tell you, I love it. It's a great show. We've done, I've walked around and done, but the last show that I went to of yours, I walked so much, my legs gave out. I mean, it was just, to try to see all the cars, it takes a while. So people have to get there early and just enjoy, because you've got some of everything out there.
Yeah,
It's
we've
just a
had
great show.
1903 electric cars.
Yep.
We get the guys from the World War II Vehicle Club come
Yep.
down, and we always set a special spot for them. They
All
come
the
out with
military
the Army
vehicles.
military vehicles. You
Yep.
got the British Car Club, which comes with 45 or 50 cars.
Yep.
They're all British cars, but they're all different. And
Yep.
unbelievable. So people from Naples come with all kinds of cars, and
Very cool
we,
stuff.
we do let people with hot rods in. We don't discriminate, but they have to be 25 years old or older.
Right. As long as it's 25 years
Right.
old, it can be a muscle car, it
Yeah.
can be a
Yeah.
street rod,
Yeah.
you know. And that's a good thing. You know, years ago, Arnie, since you mentioned that, things were pretty strict on that. Like your NSRA, you know, it had to be a street rod, had to be whatever.
Right.
AACA clubs that are changing their rules a little bit because they want all these cars. There's so many fantastic muscle cars and stuff like that out there now. Muscle Car Museum, the Tree Wurgie's
Right.
done.
Yeah.
And there's another new one coming. I just heard from Les Kurtner down on in Englewood.
Really?
Yeah, another guy has bought out the Kmart and the building next to it, and he's going to do Muscle Car Museum and
Really?
auction. He's going to do some auctioning down there.
I think they should do one on Geneva and 41, where the Kmart was.
Which, incidentally, I want to mention to folks, there's so many people looking for cars, to buy cars. Do you have a car corral?
We have a car corral.
Okay.
You got to come
Doug
early,
Fuller.
register.
Doug is now our title sponsor on the shows. We've got him on the side of the trailer, and